this is Björn Landberg. Welcome to Threefold Talk.
Hey everyone, welcome to Threefold Talk. Introduced by Björn Landberg.
Oh my goodness, every time he gets me.
Yeah. I just start giggling.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy watching back the reactions from all of you. It was brilliant. So, Brian, were you aware that Ruark does the introduction to the Threefold Talk now?
I did. I'd heard it before, I think.
It's
pretty cool.
Does it have
cool.
a...
How did you pull that off? Was it like, did you have to do a dance for an agent or something?
I went to Ruark and I said, look, I know 3 Aiel that have a huge amount of G, and I feel like they would be worthy of your attention. And he said, I will bless them with my dulcet tones. I said, perfect.
There you go.
Absolutely perfect.
And he did.
By the book.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that voice, Brian? Does it move you in any way?
It's hot.
Good.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's true.
It is.
It gives the show kind of a zaddy vibe. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm glad that
it's hard to concentrate at this point.
Yeah. I mean, well, you're here to play the role of Zaddy tonight, right?
Right.
Yeah. Zaddy the Gleeman. Yeah.
Zaddy Gleeman. That's right.
Yeah. I feel like we should rename you. You're Zaddy Gleeman as opposed to Brian the Gleeman. Yeah. I mean, I think that fits.
I think so too.
Yeah. So, Mel, you're looking particularly stabby tonight.
Thank you very much. It's a special day.
It is.
I don't know if you knew that.
It is. It's a stabby day. Hence the where's the other one? There. Hence the accoutrement. You know. I was just like, where are the points? I was like just randomly patting my head.
I mean, it's no Elida, headset from episode 8, but it's pretty close.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh God, someone needs to make a crown of spears now. It's just in that sort of format.
We're gonna have a crown of swords at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, we think so. This is true. So
I prefer crowns of spears, thank you.
Yes, crown of spears is much better.
I agree.
I mean, her headset looked like snake heads all around.
I'm holding out for the crown of fireworks, but we'll get there eventually.
I am really hoping for the crown of Melindhra. That would be really nice.
Do you really want it to be full on fireworks as a crown, like on your head?
I mean, yes.
Someone said.
Just like a Catherine wheel of chaos going on, So
or just like sparklers.
It's just sparklers.
Like just sparklers, okay, but
really
not like legit fireworks.
When she walks in,
Yeah, like because fireworks launching off your head would probably melt your head.
I mean, maybe.
There would be literal sparklers shooting out of something if we saw Melindhra. I know that.
That is true. All right. Leigh-A may or may not join us. Bless her. She's a little under the weather. But we're going to have some fun tonight, people. But before we do that, I think we should kick it off with other beautiful tones and play the Daily Veil and share the news. So let's do that.
Brothers and sisters,
it is time to cover up your face.
For the wheel of time has news, and we shall dance the spears with it.
This is the Daily Veil.
So all these beautiful voices. We're going to kick it off with fun news first. You may have heard some music in the Wheel of Time Season 3. Perhaps a new popular song that's trending at the moment called The Hills of Tanjiko. Well, now you can get yourself some beautiful, funny Hills of Tanjiko merchandise to go with it. Drop anchor at the Hills of Tanchico Waterfront Inn. No motorboats. No wake zone.
No motorboating, friends.
No motorboating. No,
Just drop your anchor.
I feel like this is my new favorite Rob Christensen creation for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I
It's-
have 2 of his shirts already, but I might need another.
Is there a version of the shirt where motorboating is encouraged? Because I love that.
Yeah, that would. Yeah.
I mean, you could always like put like just draw a red X,
And just
like cross it out. Yeah. Make your own edits.
Yeah, just like someone who's good with needle and thread, just some red thread, just doing a little cross over there. Look.
Ooh, you could embroider. That's very fancy.
I'm a fancy kind of guy. Have you not seen the horns? Like the spears.
Yeah,
I'm fancy.
I've seen them. Yeah.
So
Great job, Robin Jen. Love it.
Rob and Jen love this stuff. I might have to have words with Rob and get one of these sent to WatCon so I can put it in the Malkier Con charity auction. Because getting the merchandise over from America can be pricey sometimes, and his shirts always go down a treat. So I might have to work that. But yeah, fun one there from that.
Speaking of shirts, I need a new 3-fold top shirt with our chibis on it because my chibi shirt is
it's
OG
out.
crew.
It's OG crew. Yes, I think I've only got the OG crew as well. Actually,
Yeah, I need a new one.
we might have to. Yeah, we'll have to sort that out. So, other news, folks. Let me make sure I push the buttons. Oh, there we go. There was a For Your Consideration panel for Wheel of Time, which is awesome news. They're being put forward for Emmys. And I actually did a whole discussion with Meg and Jen earlier tonight about this for Freewheeling. So if you want to hear about how For Your Consideration submissions and things work, Jen shares as much tea as she has. But if you go to this link here, which we'll share out if you haven't already seen this, you can scroll down to the bottom. You see right here, it's moving a little bit as the mouse that you can't see is popping over on it. You can actually go and watch the whole panel. I'm not going to play the whole panel, obviously,
great.
folks. It's a very great panel.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you've got Wraith, obviously. You got Rosamund. You got Sharon, Davina, Andre. He's the production designer. If you've not seen Andre before, really, really fun guy. And it is hosted by
Perry, right?
Perry. That's it. Thank you.
From Collider.
From Collider. It is 47 minutes of them loving on each other, really, and talking about how awesome the Wheel of Time is. And just how talented the crew are and everyone and the cast and such. And it's a beautiful thing. So if you haven't seen that, please go check that out, folks, because it's very, very, very awesome. And last but not least, Maddie's been up to some stuff. You found this, didn't you, Amis, this news? So tell us what this is.
I did find this, didn't I? She is in a new show. Actually, movie, I believe. Coming out in Australia. And that's about all I know about it. I just saw it and thought it was cool. She's playing with a few other folks. Look like a really cool group of people. And it's like a mystery heist kind of show, which is also very cool. So I'm really excited for her to do more things.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of seeing things that happen in real life being loosely recreated, this is one of them. This is the largest bank robbery in British and Irish history. Took place in December 2004 in Belfast. Basically, she's going to play, as you can see on the screen here, an Australian detective who is investigating the robbery whilst on a family visit. She's playing along with Christopher Eccleston, who I haven't seen anything for a while. I'm sure he's been doing stuff. Who's the first Doctor Who of the reboot of the series. Did a single season. Beautiful. I love that he's great as a Doctor, and I haven't really understood why he only did one season. And I like that he only did one season, but I also wish he did more than one season because he was so good. But it's worth checking out if you haven't seen Chris Eccleston, the Doctor, and you like Doctor Who. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I love bank robbery movies. I don't know why, but if they're loosely based in real life, it just makes me like them more. There's something about it that just like, yes,
It's giving very Poirot vibes. Like Poirot on vacation ends up having to like solve a crime.
yes,
Kind of thing. It's very typical Poirot. But I love that.
It
That's
does
so
feel
cool.
like
I
that.
love that she's doing new things. I'm good to see her in that. That's
yeah. A lot.
I have a total side question.
Yes.
I know Rosamund has that play starting in July. Did you get tickets for that, Rob? Are you going?
I am. I'm actually seeing. I'm seeing 2 plays this year. Currently booked. I'm sure there may be more. Who knows? They keep popping up with shit. Side note, by the way, I did see. Has anyone seen The Knight's Tale, the movie?
I love The Knight's
Yes.
Tale. Yes.
Heath Ledger.
It's Michael Livingston's favorite movie.
Yes.
Is it?
It is.
Because they played rock music back then. Anyway, they did. Mel doesn't like it, so I can tell Mel's face right now. But the musical, I went to see the musical here in Manchester. It got put together as a musical and was here at Manchester. It's like a rock play, basically. It's amazing. Absolutely hilarious. Really, really great play. Perfectly adapted from the movie, as far as I'm concerned. No word yet if it's going on tour, but hopefully it will go on tour. But when it does, going to manifest that. When it does, if you get the chance to see it, go see it. I saw that last week. Anyway, in June, I am going to go see Kate in the play that Ewan McGregor's in, and I forget the.
So jealous.
Yeah, the other actress. And then I'm going to go see Rosamund at the end of July.
Nice.
So
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, to be able to cross the whole country in a few hours.
Yeah, 2 hours on a train, and I can go watch Rosamund Pike play.
So true.
But it's a lot of money to come see you guys. So yeah,
True.
I mean, you do have your own kinds of perks.
yeah.
Yep.
There's perks for everything. So okay, I think that's it for Daily Vale stuff. I don't think there's anything else.
I have some I forgot to share.
Okay.
Actually, I forgot to tell you to share. So, update on Renew Watt. Today we crossed the 150,000 letters
Woo!
sent
Wow.
threshold. Pretty awesome. And in addition to the normal hashtag storms that happen every Friday, we have some new Renew Watt events coming
Oh.
up. So next Friday, the 23rd, will be the Renew Watt Wheelie Awards, brought to you by Tucker and Riyadh. You can vote now on their a bunch of different kind of award show categories: best costume, best fight, best new character, things like that. I'm sure we have the link somewhere, but don't forget to vote on that, because then you can go watch the live award show on Friday. And then on Saturday, Mr. Rob Malkier Talks is hosting a Renew Watt Season 3 rewatch.
Wow.
And go ahead.
This is the Talkies doing their Wheelie Awards, and there's no. The form is here. This is on BlueSky. There's no link to the live stream yet, but I'm sure they've got that sorted.
There is actually. It's set up. I can put it in, but right now you just want to vote. Or now you should vote.
You should go vote. And then if you want to come, and hang out on the Saturday live watch party, throwing together with some great guests, come and join me. It starts at midday Eastern. Fucking love this thumbnail. Sorry, I'm a little bit in love with this thumbnail that I made.
It's really cute.
That'll be midday Eastern, kicking it off, and probably gonna run for, honestly, 10, 11 hours, something in that sort of ballpark, I imagine. So
yeah, and I hear there's some special guests.
We're working on some stuff. We'll see what happens. Not gonna make any promises yet. So, I think that's it.
Yeah,
Exciting.
All right.
150,000 people.
I know,
Wow.
that's insane. Congratulations.
That's pretty crazy.
it's pretty awesome. What a cool fandom we've got.
Very, very cool. So, all right. Time to get Stabby. Do we need different music for Stabby?
We might need some special Stabby
What do we have? What the hell is this? So it's been loading
There
up
should be
random
something
music.
called Stabby. Oh, can I just say? I'm gonna just say this, even though this is not Daily Mail, but it is kind of. Did you know, Rob, that Moby has just released like a shit ton of free downloadable music you can use to create content? Did you know that?
I did not.
It's very cool. Anyway, so you can pick up audio clips to use for the show, anything else you're creating. Tons of them for free. He posted that
Awesome.
he wanted to share music with everyone and that everyone should be able to use music to create things.
Sounds like a Moby
love him.
parody should be in the works to honor
I
him.
love Moby.
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea. So
Yeah.
What do you
Anyway,
think?
I'll send you the link to that, Rob, because I think you might
yeah,
want to download some of that stuff.
definitely.
What do you think, Brian? Moby parody in your future?
Absolutely. It's gonna happen.
I think it's a good idea.
Don't get too excited.
I'm so excited. This is my excited face.
Wow, that's like
don't wanna see my
Maline's
bored face.
happy face.
Wow, just
Yeah.
wait until you see some of these stabs, and you're gonna see excitement,
Ah.
folks.
Then
Sure.
we're gonna get.
All right.
Then you'll see,
Speaking of seeing-
real movement, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of seeing stabs, Mel, why don't you tell us how it's gonna work tonight?
Yeah. Maybe we should announce who the finalists are
Yeah.
first. What do you
Okay.
think about that?
By the way, just in case, and before we get to that, but just in case someone's never watched this show before, one, and who also doesn't know who Brian is, maybe we should introduce Brian officially, and then
But people don't
Mel
know
can
who I
talk
am.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you're famous with us, but somebody could watch the show and not know who you are. So, Brian, why don't you tell us
Impossible.
who you are?
I'm Brian.
Who are you, Brian? Brian, what do you do, Brian?
Is there
in
more?
this fandom.
What do I do?
In this
I read
fandom.
lots of books.
True.
See me reading all of my books. I like long walks on the beach, short walks on the beach. I like the beach.
A
Yeah,
lot of water. in the
good.
beach.
I used to host a podcast called Barside Chats with Matt Hatch, the innkeeper of the Dusty Wheel. That kind of fell off when the show took off and there's no time from anybody. But I've been reading the Wheel of Time since the 90s. Been an old school theory lander. Been really kind of involved in the community for the last several years, and got to meet these lovely people who I consider to be my great friends. And except for Mel, she's just fine. And I'm just kidding. I love you, Mel. And yeah, that's who I am. I'm just a fan. Is happy to be here.
He's a Dusty expert, folks. So
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
He's also very humble.
he's extremely humble.
That's true.
So.
I'm the humblest.
And he has a very, very awesome name day, I have to say.
True.
It's true.
So.
It's
It's
true.
pretty good.
It's I think possibly the best day of the year.
Yeah, I would go
Yeah,
down that
good day.
road, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
He also has terrible taste in condiments. If we're, sharing Brian facts.
Hard disagree.
wow.
And he also has really nice shelves. It's true. Sometimes I just look at your shelves and I start, feeling warm and fuzzy.
That's real.
Okay.
Not the butt.
That's
Oh. Okay.
Are we
Brian
Brian,
has some good books.
the butt.
There you go. The butt.
Oh, there's your butt. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen it in so long. Bring it closer.
It's been the whole time.
I know, but I forgot about it.
I killed the plant inside of it.
Is that plant alive?
Aw.
No, it's definitely dead. Yeah.
It's definitely
It has-
dead.
It has about like the depth of the little butthole, abdominal orifice.
How do you know how deep that butthole is?
I stuck my finger in it.
Good way to find out.
It's not. It's only like this deep on this side, like just an itty bitty bit. So yeah, helping
You
things
just
grow.
need
in
one
there.
of those
Very
aerating
tricky.
plants. Yep.
Wow.
Very tricky.
But that's what's so cute.
Thank
It's
you.
very cute.
It's been graced by some extra love right there.
Well, from Mel's butt to this butt.
Butt rock.
Butt rock.
There you
But-
go.
So good. Okay. Sorry I interrupted early, Mel. You go. Tell us what we're doing.
What's the
today.
origin of butt rock?
Oh.
Oh, if you
There
we have
actually is a written butt rock origin.
True.
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
have
no.
we not done a butt rock entry to What Idol?
Why haven't we?
We should
Well,
do a
we
butt rock
can.
entry to What Idol, shouldn't we?
Because we keep making our own individual entries in secret and surprising each other with them. That's pretty
This
much
is true. This is
pretty
true.
much how we've operated since One Idol began.
Anyway, sorry. Mel,
Yes.
let's talk about stabs like this.
Stabby-Stabs.
Stabby stabs.
All
So
right.
good. That's a good one.
If you've
That-
never watched this semi-seasonal tradition before, every season of the Wheel of Time TV show, we gather up the best stabs in the show and we rank them. In season 1, we actually could like basically gather up a number of stabs on like in like 2 hands, and so we didn't really have to have like a pre polling. But then in season 2, the stabs like went bananas and like got crazier, and we actually had to put some sort of rule framework around what constitutes a stab. And we had internal debates about what is and is not a stab, and we had to like slow-mo watch a bunch of battle sequences to figure out if something counted as a stab. Leigh-A thankfully has a nice background in weapons and military history, so she helped us determine our stab rules. And so from those criteria, this year each of us went through 1 or 2 episodes each and nominated the best stabs out of those episodes for you all to vote on. And boy, did you voted over 370 votes
Nice.
Wow.
for all of these nominees.
Where are the other 149,612 people?
We're too busy filling out the Renew WOD Google form. It's
Yeah, probably.
That's still
Or voting for the
Just
wheelie.
low voter
wheelies,
turnout.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
But yeah, so you voted, and there was actually one stab that got 0 votes.
Which stab got 0 votes? I need to.
I want to know.
This was a stab in episode 3. It was the gray man who was stabbed on the ground, but off camera, basically.
Oh, right.
Like we just saw him stab.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and Elaine's very helpfully notices that he's been stabbed and he's gray. So that one got 0 votes. So
This is your 0 vote stab.
0 votes. He's gray.
If it happened off screen, did it really happen?
Well, I think.
Who could have done it?
I thought you had rules about this thing.
So
well-
we had rules about what was nominated, but once they're nominated, everybody votes based on their own criteria of whether something is a good
Yes.
stab or not, right? And that conveniently carries over to tonight. So we, in season 1, we created a very patented specialized system for ranking. It is called the Stabometer. And we went through each of the stabs in the cold open for episode 7. And if you don't know what that was, like, why are you even here? But it was the blood snow scene. So the blood snow cold open has 10 stabs on a scale of 0 to 10. Apparently, there's 0. I didn't even know
There was a
that.
0 stab as well.
0.
We
So
decided
the
some
gray
cases-
man gets a 0.
The gray man gets a 0. Yes. Like
but-
here's the
but
one. This is the one stab.
In honor of our season 1 Stabometer, we will be ranking each of the 12 finalists. There are 12 finalists tonight because we had a tie for 9th and 10th. There were 4 that got the exact same number of votes. And we will each rank them based on our own criteria for what makes a good stab or not. And then we will apply the Stabometer metric mathematical formula and add it to the votes from everybody who voted, and that will give us the winner. So that's how
For science.
For science. Yes.
Brian gets to vote as well.
Yes.
And,
That's why we invited him.
Yeah, this is our first guest judge.
If you didn't know, Brian is a stab expert.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
So, and I'll briefly show you the 12 stabs we're going to go through tonight. So we have Fael multi-stabbing Trolloc from behind. We have the Metrum Corvin. So some stabs are emotional stabs, by the way, folks.
Oh, I see.
The Matt being a bad kisser, Maiden's Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
The Leandrin double stab. The Elaine basically stabbing Nynaeve with the, well, you know, that's funny coming from someone sleeping with an actual king stab. Sutama saying that she doesn't want the is that a necklace or a bracelet or something like that? It's too gaudy. Too gaudy for me. This is Fael dodging a sword, grabbing a spear, and stabbing someone with it. Rand telling Manthis she's a monster. Lewin getting kicked to the curb by Mom.
Rude.
Yeah, Fael throwing a dagger at Dane, getting him in the shoulder. Alana taking an arrow literally out of her own body and power stabbing it into a white cloak. And then the stabs from Bane and Sheard against Little's neck while he plays Maiden's Kiss. So yeah, that's the ones we're going to go through and have some fun with.
Look, I just want to put it out there. I have a PhD in stabs.
Yeah.
It stands for pretty huge dagger.
Mm,
Nice.
that's what she
Wait
said.
enough for that to
So
yeah, something else for that D.
Yeah, Mel wants Mel would like a different kind of D. Okay, fair enough.
Well, I was just thinking, you know,
I'm quite sure I have no idea what you're talking about.
well, there's a word that we're not allowed to say here because Shelley outlawed it. But like, I was thinking that if you had a PhD in stabs, you would be really good at P wording. So I just figured that D would, yeah.
That one.
Yeah, that's all.
There's not even any sound with it.
I haven't had an excuse to play that in a very long time. And I'm going to play this one to go with it.
Yes.
So
that was actually made in our original Stabby rankings, that GIF.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Where I was
you were talking about
penetration. Determining my criteria by how deep the stab P worded.
So, but yeah, let's get back to, was this made? This was made previously though, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Very early threefold talk.
Yeah, we have some early stuff floating around in here.
Yeah,
though. It just makes
before
me
we
chuckle.
all got like cameras that actually showed our faces and lights and stuff.
I mean, we've still got this. Where did this one come from? Oh my god!
Just
scrolling through some of my older stuff. Amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
Brian, as our guest, why don't you pick which stab you'd like to rank first?
Am I starting at like a particular like low to high or high to low, or it's just a random?
Up to you.
You
This is
pick.
now-
You pick.
This is now
We
your
can look at them
personal.
all in
yeah.
in whatever order we want to look at them all. But yeah, 1 is low, 10 is high. For
10 is
as
high.
far as your rank.
0 is like gray man.
Greyman, clearly, because that's the only one that's ever gotten 0 votes. Off-screen stabs, so we don't get to see any action.
Let's do the Fail one. I think
There's
it's
3 of them, aren't there?
The first one you showed, the first Fail.
First one? Okay, well, she's the
There are 3 Fail stabs.
3 Fail. She's the stabbiest of them all, but look at that.
Yeah, I think she's going to win regardless.
The blood splatter is quite nice.
I mean, she has a 25% chance of winning because she has 3 of the 12, so...
That's not how
That's some really good math there. Good math.
Right.
Am I ranking this one, or are we just gonna?
You're ranking it. Okay,
Yeah.
you get to start.
Right, so, I think this one is really good because it's Fail, who's awesome. She's tiny as hell on top of a giant Trolloc, and she's stabbing so enthusiastically. There's blood going everywhere. She's having a good time. I'm gonna give this an 8.
8.
8.
You really
8 out of
sung
10.
its
8
praises
out of
and then gave it an 8.
I'm giving it an 8. It's an 8 out of 10.
All right.
Maybe some better stabs out there. This is a solid 8 out of 10.
Love it.
Okay. Amis, Mel, do you wanna go? Or?
Go ahead, Rob.
Okay. I think that the blood splatter really sells it on me. Obviously it's just the frame that we caught. But it just really makes this moment. I hope she uses this on her CV in the future when she gets another role that requires to have
her CV.
it needs to be in the reels. Because it's a badass scene. And the sheer number of stabs, clearly with a lot of is effective. I think 8's a solid. I'm with Brian on this one. Actually, I think 8. Yeah.
Okay. 8 it is. Amis.
I think for physical stats, this might be my favorite one because unlike some of my IEL friends who like Trollocs, to me, the only good Trolloc is a dead Trolloc. So I would have to say that this shot of Fail, obviously pretty much killing him immediately, would put it in the 9 range for me.
9.
I give this one a 9. Wow. Yes. I give it. If she was IEL, I might give her a 10, but since she's just a Wetlander,
nobody's perfect.
She stays at 9.
Okay. I really appreciate the level of effort that she's clearly going through here with her gritted teeth, but she is backpacking on a Trolloc. And listen, in the ways of killing a Trolloc, this is a very inefficient way to kill a Trolloc, right? Especially as a tiny person. She could have just rolled under his legs and he would have just fallen over on his face and just completely.
Wait, is this like the gymnastics where you get points for difficulty, or do you get points for doing it the right?
I get points for doing it.
It is up to you how you score, Brian.
I'm just saying. I'm just asking for clarification on the justification.
Yeah, I'm saying there are better ways to kill a Trolloc than this particular way. And if I were killing a Trolloc, I wouldn't backpack it. I would backpack it if I wanted to do a Trolloc chocobo race, That's when I would backpack on a Trolloc. But I wouldn't do it when I was trying to kill it. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna have to take points away for inefficient Trolloc murder and give it a 5.
It would be good to know where she came from. Did she hop from another Trolloc to this Trolloc? Because that would be pretty amazing. I feel like she was like Frogger.
I feel like she might have Legolas on it, right? She might have just
I feel like
she around from the front, swung up.
Yeah, when you're tiny, you gotta be mighty.
Yeah.
I need to calibrate here. What's the 10 out of 10 Trolloc slaying for you? Is it trying to get them to bob for apples and then just holding their head down in the water until they die? Is that your?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
If it were a bird Trolloc, she would have less points. Let's be clear.
That's so
It would be
true.
less points.
Yeah, I mean, like when you kill bird Trollocs, you always get some minus points in there. So
Not allowed.
Yeah.
No.
So
I mean,
All right.
all right. Next up.
The chat is, there's some votes
Yeah,
in the chat.
chat. What do you think
Lots
about
of
that?
chat
choice?
votes.
Yeah,
for
chat. Throw in
some
your
10
votes.
out of 10s.
I see some 10s. Yeah.
38 out of 42. which
Someone
is
thinks
not
5
how
is
we're voting.
insane. Like, so clearly they think you're voting too high there, Mel.
All right, valid.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
All right, next
It's
time
lame.
I will
So
lessen my Trellic voting.
yes, yeah. Gonna be all right. Do we just want to run through them as is, or do we want to do the random?
Random.
Let's go.
Random. All right, let's go.
Random.
Let's
This
go
is
this
us.
way.
Random.
Fucking
I
random.
just
random.
scrolled through. Here we go.
All right.
So this is Elaine, sort of emotionally stabbing Nynaeve when she's just like, your brothers are douchebags. No, what did she say about royalty? I can't remember what she says exactly.
Uh,
I don't remember what she says, but she says no offense, Elaine.
Yeah, and then
She
Elaine
says
goes
something negative about royalty.
Yeah.
And then Elaine's like, none taken.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well they're all like stuck up or something like that. And
Yeah.
She was like, I can't believe you like this. This doesn't seem like something you would like, or something.
well, that was Matt.
That was she
And-
said that.
And
Yeah.
Nynaeve said, I think everyone would like this.
No,
Yeah.
maybe you're right.
Yeah. Which I really appreciated coming from Nynaeve. I felt like that was a surprising response from her.
Well, she
Yes.
did do all that sword training in season 2, right?
But I appreciated it. Yeah,
Or
but
that
she was
season
training. She wasn't
I don't
just
remember
like
what season that
Yeah,
was.
she
wasn't
wasn't. She wasn't
goggling at
drawing on the guys.
boys who weren't wearing shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
True.
All right. Anyone want to kick us off with a score on this one?
I will.
Okay.
I can kick us off. As verbal stabs go, I would give this a 1.
Wow.
One.
Like, I would give it a 0, but I'm just going to give it a 1 because it was a little sassy. But, like, Nynaeve's like, yeah, so I'm having sex with Lan. Like, oh, ouch. Hurt my feelings. Okay, like, ow, Elaine. Like,
But
it's
she's
not.
telling her hypocrisy.
Yeah, I get it, but Nynaeve doesn't give a shit. Like, she's like, whatever. So I give it a 1 for that.
Okay.
A
Well,
1.
do you think Nynaeve is being smug because Lan actually has a PhD?
A pretty huge dagger.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean-
is that
There's
it's?
lots of.
I think they call
illustration out there.
swords.
I think Nynaeve is smug because she's Nynaeve. Come on. Like, she doesn't need any of that. She's got what she
Oh.
needs.
I love Patrick Lightbody. I think I just heard Angus yell 10 faintly from outside.
Oh man.
Oh God.
Okay. Okay, I'll go next. I really appreciated this stab because it's not as easy to create a comeback that is not like needlessly cruel, right? Like it was funny and funny in a way that Nynaeve like was the butt of the joke, but also appreciated the joke. And I feel like that is not as easy to do as some people think. So I'm gonna give her a 7.
Whoa.
7 is insane.
That is ridiculous.
You know, I'm pretty sure I Am Cutie Pie said that my last score was insane. So I think we're just gonna
Yeah, you are. You're just doing the insanity here.
we're just doing it. Yeah.
For me, I really really appreciated just the really relaxed and chilled nature of this verbal stab. Like there was no, she didn't have to strain to do it. She didn't pause to think about it. It was just like an instant instinctual reaction, and Nynaeve was completely unprepared for it. She thought, she was just like, yeah, I'm gonna call you brothers douchebags. You know, you're okay. I'll let that slide, whatever. You know, and without even missing a beat, she's right there. And she's just like, no, you know, I'm not going to take offense. You're banging the king yourself. So, you know, and it was very good execution, and I gotta stand up for my man Kev. So I'm gonna throw this out there as an 8 as well, to be honest. So 2 8s in a row for me.
Wow. Is your criteria
I think you two are
between
insane.
8.0 and 8.9? Is that your voting criteria?
I mean, my voting criteria is chef's kiss criteria. So yeah. Look, we're not the only people. Like, Dailu's in there.
Yeah.
She appreciates it. Dailu's like a
Yeah.
7. So,
Patrick gave it an 8.
Patrick gave it an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel gave it an 8.
Other Mel gave it an 8. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what I think, because I haven't given my rating yet. I think that you're right, Rob. Like, it was a instinctual quip that was like practice, like not even practice, but like you can. She's given this kind of thing so many times, probably because of her dumbass brothers, and she's just very, very good at doing this to people who are snarky to her. She just turns around and is very snarky back. But in terms of stabs, I would describe this as cute and not violent or stab. So
You can't appreciate
I'm
a
gonna
cute stab?
be closer to Emmy's here and go. This is like a 2. I'm gonna give it a 2.
A 2.
Yeah, it's just not like stabby enough. There's not.
I agree with
You can
that.
do better. You can do better. Like if it was truly a great stab, Nynaeve would spend the rest of the episode contemplating her choices in life, and she does not do that.
I don't know. I mean,
Like,
stab
traumatize them
was
for
cute.
life.
the
Okay.
key to a good stab for me is, you've managed to catch your opponent unawares, and Nynaeve's startlement really shows that to me.
The key to a good stab for me is whatever I think is key in the moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I hope somebody's writing down our scores. Mel,
Yeah,
are you
me.
there?
Mel
Okay.
is actually,
Yes.
and that reminds
Thank
me, I forgot
goodness.
to share the stabometer score for Fail on the Trellick. Would you like to know?
Oh, true. Yes.
Yeah.
So, do I round up or round down?
That's up to you. Because it's a 7.5.
It's a 7.5, ladies and gents,
Mhm,
for the for this. This got a 7.5 on the stabometer. And because I picked an 8, I'm just going to play. I'm going to play the 8 out of 10 stab. So
There you
this is how it ranked. Bam! 8 out of 10 stab.
So much
Nice.
good blood.
Yeah.
All right, and because we have some assholes in the rankings, Elaine's score
Rude.
I'm
on
sorry.
the stabometer is a 4.
Are you calling me an asshole right
Was
now?
that is that a 5? I heard a 5. Okay,
It's a 4.5. Yeah.
it's a 4.5.
Let's round that down to 4.
No.
Round it down to a
You
4.
see, I'm the one with the power.
Metaphorical
you-
stabs
Yeah.
get rounded down. Actual stabs get rounded up.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know. That doesn't. Maybe other metaphor. It depends where I vote. I think I voted higher than 5, 4.5. So I'm going to rank it, round it up, and I'm going to play the 5 on this.
All right.
But there we go. Yeah.
I was led to believe there were rules and stuff with the
Yes.
stabbies.
There are
There are.
very
Yeah,
clear
there are
rules.
rules.
We laid them out.
Yeah. Are you not? You're not enjoying the rules? So,
I'm just saying. Seems like we're making them up.
I don't know about that. So, hi Tori, by the way. Nice to see you too. Hi everyone in chat. If it's your first time here, stick a wave in. We're ranking the stabs from season 3.
And if you
We-
disagree with any of our fellow castmates here, feel free to make your feelings known in the chat.
Yeah.
There are a fair number of people in the chat who are not agreeing with the assholes.
There we
Glenn
go.
Gave it a 7.8.
That's right. We got a lot of people agreeing
Look.
that 2 is an appropriate number.
Mel is right. See, the rules are connected to who has the power. I have the power. Excuse me. This is why I'm not.
All right,
Actually-
He-Man.
Listen, Wetlander, just slow
This is
your
why I'm
roll.
not
a bit.
actually in charge of anything. Clearly, I just get power hungry. I wouldn't be Iron Man. I'd be fucking Doomsday guy, whatever. So. Oh god. Okay. Let's just go scroll through. This one.
Oh,
All right.
I am sad this made it into the best stabs category. There are also worst stabs, by the way, which we will rank on a different episode.
Yes.
And this one somehow snuck into best, and I'm not sure how.
I don't know how this got in best. Who was in charge for ranking for picking your episode 4?
Yeah, who did
Amis,
that?
you put this in. Defend this, Amis. Go for it.
this is a quality stab. This is I'm going to create hurt. I'm going to stab your heart so fucking hard that it's going to make everyone in the scene, by the way, super upset, which it did. And just the words of like, I had a son with your face, cover it up or whatever she says is just so brutal that it is, to me, a best stab. Like that is some brutal mommy going on. And it worked, and she stabbed him. And that's also how the Great Aiel was created. So I don't know why this is considered a bad stab, because without this mother, we would not have the Great Aiel that we have today.
That's a valid comment.
I will give this stab because of the incredible hurt it has given to this boy.
Sensing a 9.
And the result it has created, a 10.
A 10!
Whoa!
Whoa!
That's insane.
Because of the outcome of the stab. I like
The top 10 emotional stab right there.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, by definition, it's the top 12. So.
I mean, yeah.
Well, true. If we were ranking to 12, we'd put it as a 12, but we're not.
That's true. Oh, wow.
Turn it up to 11.
Turn it up to...
Turn it up to 12.
Okay, Brian, let's hear yours.
All right. So, I'm gonna be consistent here because the last one was Elaine was just very practiced. It was very casual. She was just being snarky. It didn't leave a lasting impression there. And she and Nynaeve were still friends after. So that was not like the brutalest stab that's ever been stabbed. But this one, Mom here is like, she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to. She's not practiced at this, and she delivers the deadliest verbal stab in the history of verbal stabs. And not only is she upset, her other daughters are upset, everybody else in the scene is upset, and Lewin turns around and walks away, never speaks to her again. They never speak to each other again. Like, this is not like, oh, you're sleeping with the king, now we're buddies again. That's not happening. What's happening is, hide your face from me, stranger. Gone. Hearts broken. You are not my son anymore. Families split up. This is the nuclear bomb of all metaphorical stabs. This is the nuclear stab. So I'm gonna give it a 10.
Wow.
Wow, 2 10s.
Wow.
All right. I don't think you can stab. I don't think you can have a best stab. It can be an effective stab if you're stabbing yourself in the process. I don't think it counts very well. She clearly
sheathing the sword.
Sword. Aiel. See,
that's a sword form.
That's a sword form right there.
That should.
Yeah.
That's an automatic 0.
That's so much toe with that. So, she is clearly stabbing herself while stabbing. And there's collateral damage here.
She's
the daughter.
got another kid. It's fine.
Yeah, who's she stabbing in the process right now
with
as
the rest
well?
of the people. She doesn't have to leave.
She's sidestabbing the daughter while she's stabbing the son. There is.
I'm sorry, that daughter did not care.
There is
I don't know.
excessive.
It's like,
There is
whatever.
excessive collateral damage with the stabbing. There is no refinement to it. There is no, she's like, "Oh, you're my target. I'm going to stab everything in the radius around me, including myself, just to try and
Word.
get you there." I'm like, it is an effective stab. It's, he does feel it, but it's also the collateral damage is really irresponsible. And
Are you
just
calling the new IEL irresponsible? The best
she's not
IEL?
new IEL. She's not new IEL.
If she did not do this, the best IEL would not be around.
Oh, okay, yes,
best
yeah.
Around.
So we need Cooladin. We need the Shido. Well, just Mel. That's fine. But
If there
yeah,
were no Shido, there would be no Mal.
yeah. The wild collateral, including her other child. I'm sorry, it's irresponsible
Fine.
stabbing. Lessens it for me. This is getting a 4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friendly
Just stab someone
fire.
or multiple people, and that's less. I don't think you know how math works.
She's not trying to stab other
But
people.
her
She stabbed
words are
herself.
quite
She stabbed
precise.
herself.
Her words are quite precise. That is not.
She stabbed herself. She stabbed herself. She stabbed her daughter.
He was gonna go away no matter what, Rob. He couldn't stay because of what he did. She purposely stabbed him after. Like, it could have
So,
been like, "I
It was
love you,
an
but you have to
It
go."
was an
But no, she's
unnecessary
like
stab. Then it was an unnecessary stab. She's
She- formulated that stab.
what was
She's
gained? What was
off.
gained? If he was going to go anyway, what was gained from the stab?
She
Just
just wanted
pain.
to stab his ass.
Exactly.
She-
Just pain of virtue. Like no, of your own
That's a
son.
stab.
It's a stab, but it's not a good stab.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
stab.
Can I go now?
Yes.
Go on now.
All right. As an IEL,
Wait, Rob's back. You want it?
we practice
What I said.
Ito, which is honor and obligation, meaning if you are going to stab, if one is going to execute on a stab, one must do so with calculated intention. And the problem with this stab is that the mom is hurt and in pain, and she is lashing out in a not in control way. She's lashing out because of her anger and her sadness and her frustration, but she's saying something in the moment she doesn't really mean. 100% this woman walks away from this and like thinks about it overnight and is like, I can't believe the last thing that I said to my son that I love dearly was that he's dead to me. Like this is a cry of anguish. This is not a calculated, effective stab. However, Amis did win me over in the fact that the effect of the stab was the creation of my entire people. So I do have to assign it some extra points for that. And I haven't decided quite yet if it's 1 or 2 points, but I'm gonna give it a little extra. So I was gonna give it a 2, but because of the lack of control, it was very effective, but it was lack of control. So I think because of creating the IEL, I'll give it an extra point and it can have a 3.
3. Wow.
Terrible,
Okay.
terrible scores for you people up top.
So
All right. So on the stabometer scale,
good analysis there, Mel. From Mel.
this stab has a 6.75.
6.75. So this still rated a 7 out of 10. If you're with the
Yes,
rounding.
that's because 2 people. I'm just gonna call
Narc.
everybody who doesn't vote exactly like me assholes all night long. All right, in the chat, we have
Look,
some rankings.
If it hadn't had that extra point from Mel, it would have been a 6.5, and then I would have played the 6 GIF. So
Okay. I think Patrick Leigh-A gave it a 7 out of 12. Alana gave it a 10. We have a 9 out of 10 from Damon Lou. 2 from Glenn. Mel also agrees that it's 2. Skeeter says it's 4 out of 12. That's confusing, Skeeter.
That is, yeah.
Brian rated Rob's ranking a 1 out of 10. I don't have a category for that, so that's going in the bucket of fuck it.
I rank Brian's ranking and Mel's ranking an 8.5 out of 10.
Thank you, Red Dash. Excellent taste, sir.
All right.
Matthew is also standing with me, which was a 10. So, thank you, Matthew.
Thank you very much. All right. Moving on.
You
This
can stab at
thermometer-
me anytime, Matthew.
It's been this thermometer has chosen.
Let's go back to this one. All right. This is Fael. In this scene, Fael avoids this guy's sword. Someone pokes a spear at her. She grabs it, takes off him, and stabs said guy instead.
Do you want me to read what it actually says? Or
Yeah,
instead
let's
you're
do that.
paraphrasing of that?
Yeah.
It says, Fael stabs a dark friend, dodges a sword thrust, steals a spear, and kills a dark friend.
Just
Stabs the dark
Is the
friend.
stab inside
Throws
of
a
this
spear and
person?
stabs another dark friend.
yeah,
There's
she
two
has-
stabs in one.
She has stabbed the dark friend with a stolen spear.
Okay. Hard to tell.
Yeah, that one's a tricky one to see from the screenshot, but it was a whole
Yeah.
sequence.
It's a little sequence. It's tough to get the right shot from that. Yeah. Anyone have a gut reaction to this?
You shouldn't kill dark friends.
Matthew Murdoch says a 13,004,317 out of 10.
I'll go. I think this is pretty epic as far as stabs go. The sequence itself is once again, she's like feral, but she's also like calm and methodical. She's not like lashing out and anything. It's just very calm, like ducking under things and jumping on things and stabbing people. And it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of grace, it takes a lot of athleticism to stab someone, grab a spear from someone else, and stab someone else. Like that's a lot. That's a lot to do in such a short period of time. And plus, it's Fael, who's just badass all around. So I am going to give this one also an 8 out of 10.
An 8 out of 10. Okay. All right. Lamelle says this is an ultimate stab, and she ranks it 10 out of 10.
We're trying to influence us, Mel.
Yeah. What does our Mel think?
I actually think this is a very intentional stab calculation, and I think it was a badass thing. I actually think it's an amazing sequence. I'm giving it a 9 because of the level of difficulty of executing all of those things all in a row. Pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Fair. Amis?
I'm on the fence on this one. The sequence was probably excellent. But if we're talking about a stab specifically, hard to see on this shot.
So you're
I believe
critiquing the
it's-
screenshot?
I know I am critiquing my memory of the entire sequence because I can't remember it all. So I believe that she did some really excellent things. But unlike the Trolloc, we can't really see her actually stabbing the person, and I can't remember exactly the sequence. So she is a badass, but she's not an ideal. So I will give her a 7.
Love it.
Okay.
Not critiquing the screenshot, just the memory.
That's fine. I was not going to take offense at the screenshot. This was a real pain in the ass. Like, there were times where I was doing the screenshots and I'm like, I can't actually freeze the right moment for the stab because it's blurry. Because it's action.
Really hard.
So I sometimes had to like grab a fraction of a frame like later or just before type thing, and it doesn't quite cover it exactly how you'd want it to. This was one of those instances where I was like, this is the best one I can get. It doesn't quite show what I wanted to show.
Fine.
Yeah, it was either that or just a blur, and I'm like, ugh. So yeah, please by all means critique the screenshots because I
She
blame
did a
Amazon.
lot of amazing sequences in this fight, so
She did,
it's hard
yes.
to remember which is which.
Yeah, this is true. This is great, but if I'm gonna like try and be consistent with my rankings and my stabbings, I gave her an 8 in her previous one because it was like multiple stabs. You know, there's only 2 in this, and that's if we count it all as one
Only
moment, one
2?
action. Yeah,
She
only
was still
2.
multiple
Flashings
last
are
time I
not
checked.
stabbing. Don't forget, flashings are not.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I know. But like, you know, she did like 5, 6, 7. You know, there was like multiple stabs on that trailer before. This is like 2 stabs, so I can't give it the 8 that I previously gave the other one, just based on that. So it's going to be a 7 for me.
7. Fine.
Yeah.
The Stabometer says this scored a 7.75.
Woo! 8,
Nice.
baby.
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
Pretty good. We're in near agreement.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 7s, an 8, and a 9. Okay. Wow. Let's nope. This one. All right. The
All right.
Leandrin double
Speaking
stab.
of double penetration.
Double penetration. Anybody have a thought on this?
I mean, it's a great stab. Nice coordination. She should have died. I don't understand. Like literally, there's a sword through her heart. It's literally through her heart. However, -4 points because of swords. It gets a 6.
I am very similar to Mel in this, except I give it a 2. And I'm only giving it a 2 because they stab each one of them. There's 2 people stabbing her, and they get 2 points. She does not die. Yvonne does not live. That's as best as I can give it. Is
You were
a
literally
2.
only ranking the last stab. You literally only just ranked the stab and not the whole sequence. And now
I can rank however I want on each individual stab. Each one is in a different time and a different situation, and this bitch lived. That's a 0 to me, but I'll give it a 2 because there's two awful swords in her body.
Okay. All right. Brian.
All right. Wow. I hate to disagree with my esteemed colleagues here. But this is a pretty badass stabbing. I mean, there's 2 people in concert stabbing at the same time. An Aes Sedai, no less, who could theoretically just wipe them out with the power in a flick of her wrist. And not only that, but there's other Aes Sedai around that could also try to kill them, and they don't do it. They get to stab her. They get to shove their swords through her chest. That's pretty amazing. Now the one concession I will make is that of all the Stabby-Stabs, actually not all, of all the physical stabs, this is the one where they don't die. The victim does not die. So there's some points deducted for not actually killing her.
Mm-hmm.
For facts.
However, this is the subject of my What Idol entry, so it gets bonus points for that. So I'm going to give it a 9.
What?
A 9. Okay.
No.
I don't have
It's a
sword
sword.
versions. I like
Sword.
swords. Swords are cool. 9.
So you're doing a What Idol entry literally about this scene? About her getting stabbed with
Waffo.
2 swords?
Laffo?
Waffo.
Just about
Waffo and Laffo, yeah.
0.7
Waffo.
second moment in the Wheel of Time season 3. I mean,
So I love that Mel goes, I might agree with Brian more this time, and then just goes, wow.
Lottie says she did not die, -5.
Lottie and I we're like this.
Glenn gave it a -10 for not killing her. Patrick gave it an 11 out of 12. It's 10. It's average 10 people.
Yep.
Andrew
but-
gave it an
but-
8 out of a 10.
And they
no.
call it a 9.
A 9.
A 9. All right. Now I've been hanging out here at Purple Rocks Hold for a few years now. I've learned the swords are bad, so this can't get 10 points straight off the
So
bat.
true.
Automatic. I'm still chuckling about they call it a 9. It just tickled me a lot. Nice one, Zul. However, the coordination gives me like IEO vibes, like the way they thought together. Okay, so
I'm insulted.
I'm gonna have to minus points for the swords, but you know, it's still gonna be decent because of the coordination, and like that's a deep level of penetration there as well. Like
You Wetlanders need some sort of like.
It does not. They do
synchronized
not get
spinning fighters?
hilt deep. They are not hilt deep.
I did not say. I said there is a deep level. I did not say full penetration. I said there is a deep level. Okay. So I'm going to give this. This is going to get an 8 out of 10.
Deep. This is deep to you.
Look, that is so deep.
Yeah.
That is.
Tell us more,
You can't
Brian.
get deeper than that. That's it. That's what it is.
Wow.
I mean, just look.
Kidding me?
It's like the same size as your
It's
head.
normal. It's normal, is what I'm
It's
saying.
like the same
This is
size as your head.
normal?
It's head deep. So you know.
What are you guys like?
It's normal.
What kind
It's
of
normal.
weapons are you
think-
looking at that this
Everybody,
is normal?
you know.
I
I mean, if you
This
have a
is-
sword and it's this long, use it all. Just
Oh.
get up in there.
yeah. I mean, that's the fun part. Is like ramming the. I mean, why can't you just if you're gonna like thrust into a body? Why can't you just thrust all the way up to the hill? That's what I don't understand. This is deep.
Well,
Like what?
Look,
In what world?
sometimes they're thinking about they're thinking about who's receiving it, and they're thinking they have their best interest at heart to make it
Wetlanders.
an experience that both of them can remember.
What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
Mel and I, for the record, both said the exact same thing at the exact same time.
Yes, it's
What
true.
are we talking about right now?
Dana, 2 feet may not be enough, okay? We broke the
I
Wetlander.
think
Is,
yeah, I
is
think
that
so.
in like Wheel of Time feet, which is like 10 inches?
It must be. It must be.
All right.
Right.
What did you give this? I
can't
can write down
remember
your
now.
score.
I thought he said 7, but
A
I could
7?
be wrong. Or an 8, one of the two. He's choking. Get some water, Rob.
That's it.
I think Rob said a
7?
4 because we're right on the same wavelength.
You okay, Rob?
Yes.
You choking
I
on
think
something?
something penetrated your throat there. for a
Did
minute.
something go in your mouth like up to your front teeth and it felt really deep?
Look,
Did you go,
we just went balls deep in this conversation, and I don't know.
what size balls though? Let's be clear.
Definitely not 2 feet size.
All right. The Stavometer official
I need a moment.
for this.
Oh God, does somebody have mod powers? Because I don't. There's
I don't either.
we can
Only
play right
Rob.
now.
We calculated that we would have both Leigh-A and Rob here to
Yes. It's just me. That's why I'm not reading
Come
the screen.
Rob officially does have the power.
I think Rob is just making up the fact that we can't have mod power anymore.
Right. What did the score work out to be?
A 6, flat 6.
Flat 6.
6.
Ooh.
Do you
I
think
like
if
how
it had been
slow
more
that
than
one
just a
is.
tip, it would have been
Yeah.
right?
That
Yeah.
6
Okay.
on the
Slow
guess was
penetration.
better than a
Okay.
6. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
That's
Sorry,
hot.
Brian. Say that
All
again,
right.
Brian.
6
There we
is a
go.
respectable number. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, nothing wrong with
First
6. All right.
All right. This is Matt's a bad kisser. This is the very first kiss, the stabbing from the very first kiss of his attempt to play Maiden's Kiss.
I want to hear from the IEL first.
Well,
I have many thoughts.
it depends on if you think that Bane and Chiad are good judges of someone's ability to kiss. And to be fair, they probably value each other's kisses more than anyone else's, right? So they are already by nature biased in their kissing ability or their kissing judgment. So therefore they're stabbing him in the throat based on a biased set of data, right? And I'm sure that they're both excellent kissers. And Matt, maybe not so much at this point because he hasn't met Melindhra and never will. So now he's doomed to be a terrible lover for the rest of his life.
We need to pour one out for Show Melindhra, by the way.
Show Melindhra treated exactly how Robert Jordan treated both Melindhra. Just tosses her aside. I'm not better. It's fine. Ooh. So I guess I'm kind of like talking and working it out as I think.
I mean,
But
I have a score if you want more time to think.
No. I no. What I'm saying is I'm thinking through my logic. My other challenge with this is that we
Go ahead.
make me put this deep in you.
Just a tip.
It's only a couple inches deep.
This is the deepest thing that Rob knows. The other challenge I have with this is we don't actually we don't see the stabs penetrate much, and oh no, I used the word. They don't P-word Matt very much, and he doesn't die like other people have said. So I do think that they're a good judge of character, good judge of kissing. So they have G for judging correctly. So they get points for that, but they don't get points as a stab for not killing him. But I like him, so you can't do that. So anyway, I'm confusing myself, and I'm going to give it a 5.
A 5, okay. 1. Next.
All right, I miss.
Yeah.
No discussion. All right. Well, I have to say I appreciate the Maiden's Kiss game. It is a very fun game to play, to understand your possible opponent or sexual lover, whichever. But the fact is, I don't think it's really too much of a stab. It's just a game, and he obviously was good enough that they didn't stab him much deeper than they did because he only has a few blood drops after the fact. So I think if he would have been a worse kisser, he would not be alive. So as a stab goes, I would say 'tis but a scratch, and I would give it a 4. And that's really for the game that they're playing.
All right. Well, so we're going by the previous thing where we did not penetrate fully, so therefore don't get, top points. This barely penetrates at all. There is no.
True.
I think everybody likes a little more throat action than what we're getting here. So I also think this is just not great. So I'm gonna go with Rob and give it a 1.
Okay, this stab earned a 2.75 on the stabometer scale.
Well,
All right.
that one does get rounded up because I do respect that bit of math. So there's your 3.
Excellent. Moving on.
We've got some discrepancies in the chat. We've got an 8 from Matt Murdoch. We got Lottie says 3. Good call, Lottie. Dana gave it 2, 1 for each spear. Mel also gave it 2.
Patrick gave it 4.
Glenn gave it an 11 out of 10 because it is Maiden Kiss with Chiad and Bane and Matt. What more could I ask for?
I mean, that is one way to rank this
We
stuff.
could have asked for some more stabbing.
That is one one choice of how to rank for sure.
That is. All right.
Next.
The Matrim Coffin.
Yes. Specifically, Swan wondering if Matt Coffin would do something as stupid as have his portrait painted with the horn of Valere.
I mean, I think this one was the whole conversation, right? Was that what this one was, Mel, or is it just this line?
I titled it The Matrim Coffin because that's the first moment where she gets that little sort of snarky reply to him and like starts the verbal stabbing that he doesn't pick up on until basically this moment here.
Yeah.
Which is why I screenshotted this moment, but it does start. But I titled it with the moment where her verbal stabs begin, in a gentle way. They're not vicious stabbings, but they're amusing stabbings. And I think they cut his pride pretty deep. I will say that. Like that look on his face right there, he was just like, I have been a bit of a shadow right now. I'm a bit of a stone dog. Like he is. Yeah, he's thinking his life choices over there. But he earned it. I've got to say that. He definitely earned it. And Swan is this is like precision. Like she builds the conversation to really just let him, basically walk onto the stab and self-impale almost. It's very, very skilled. It is a verbal stab over a physical stab. So it's always going to rank maybe a smidge lower for me than a physical stab. I like the multi-layered facets of this. I really enjoyed, and her delivery and the way that she kind of makes him walk up onto it. I'm gonna throw a 7 at this. I like it.
All right.
All right, I'll go next. I think that there's a couple of different angles here. One is that Matt, the beginning of this conversation, is really building himself up to be a hero. He's really like, look at me, look how great I am. I'm awesome. I'm perfect. By the way, did you know I'm the hero of the horn? I'm the horn blower, a horn sounder, the sheep blower, whatever it is. Sheep tutor.
Sheep tutor.
That's me. That's me. That's who I am. And then Swan very deftly, very, very cleverly manipulates the conversation to give this one line that immediately deflates that entire build up here. This is as close to a total knockout as you can get, where he is just like, he was heading in one direction, now he's going the other direction at the drop of a dime, the drop of Swan's brilliant little thing here. That said, Matt, as usual, lives to see another day. So it's not a 10 out of 10, but I'm going to give it a 7. Let me give it a 7 as well.
7 as well?
This is a pretty good, intentional, well-crafted. She set him up. She tore him down, kicked him to the curb. By the way, leave the horn here. Brilliant. Just perfectly executed. but you know, he still survives and still gets to do other things. So it's not a total kill. It's not a fatality, but it is a TKO. It's a knockout.
Okay.
7.
Cool.
My thoughts are very similar to Brian's, and like using some of the comments he's made before about how effective things are and how and the lasting impression, the lasting effect of this stab. And I would say the biggest thing I respect about how she executed the stab was that it was calculated for a very specific effect, and it had the intended effect, which was that he gave her the horn. And it was because she executed so well on like the lead up to the stab and went deep, like literally emotionally deep into his soul, and like made him realize the error of his ways in such a well done way. In contrast to the stab that I gave a 3, this was in complete control. So it gets a 9 from me.
9.
Wow. 9. I think it was very well done. I think it was a teaching moment, and there were multiple stabs in this conversation, which I loved. I agree with Mel and Brian and Rob that the multiple facets of the stabs rank it a little higher for me. I do love that his ego finally, after watching it, I think this is episode 3, right? So after like watching his big ego in the first couple episodes, gets knocked down a little bit. So I think it's very effective. And yes, she gets the horn back, but she probably doesn't have it anymore. So I don't think that's really a good thing. She still dies. So I would give these stabs as a mother teaching a child how not to be an asshole, a good intentional 5.
Wow. Okay.
Yep, 5.
Impressive.
He's still mad. He's still going to be a gambler and a scallion, and you know he's rapscallion. Anyway,
Amazing.
I don't think it's going to like totally change his personality. It just knocked him down a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Patrick Lightbody says 2. She's just really pointing out his own self stab. Glenn says this might have been Swan's smartest moment in the scene. I really enjoyed this stab greatly. Very deft. 7 out of 10. Bonus points for getting it back. 8 out of 10 for effectiveness. Light Blind the Fool says, I'd say this is more taking Matt Guy Shine than stabbing him. 11 out of 10. Lottie, very effective.
Extra G.
So, where did this fall on the stab scale?
A straight 7.
The straight 7.
Mm-hmm.
With the blood splatter. Okay. Let's scroll to the end.
Ooh.
Right. Anyone got thoughts here?
Yes, I would like to give this a 1.
I am in agreement. I give it a 1.
I give it a 1.
Because I feel like Bane and Shiad should have been smart enough to see through what he was trying to do immediately. And it took them way too long to figure it out.
Agreed.
And they play and the disrespect of even trying to play Maiden's Kiss with a builder is like extra bad. So lots of toe for Bane and Shiad. Extra toe for drawing blood. I give it a 1.
Yeah.
Agreed. I'm
Agreed.
a 1 too. Yep.
We're all giving it 1s.
Wow.
Yes.
1s across the board.
What does that average out to?
7. Weird.
To a 7. Oh, okay. 7 it is.
That was a quick one.
That was a
It was.
quickie. It's a quickie.
Sometimes a quicky's good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, one of the screenshots where it was really difficult to get a good image of this. But this is Alana pulling an arrow out of her own body and then using the one power to channel it and stab a white cloak with it.
I have to admit, I read the alt text for this and I did not understand what I was looking at in the picture, and I had to like lighten it up,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, okay, now I see.
Yeah, it's not the greatest one. I'm sorry, folks. Again, there was so much action in this scene that it was tough to get or so much movement in this moment where it paused. Even if I was just like, play pause, like the frames it would move were too many to get anything clear. So, which is frustrating. But yeah, I like this. She's been stabbed multiple times by arrows prior to this, but we're not judging that. We're judging her stabbing of the White Cloak, and she's been resourceful by taking a weapon from within her own body, because
She's recycling.
She's recycling. I respect that. Yes,
She's reusing.
Reuse, recycle. All those things, people. So I approve of that. And she's suffering a lot here. She's got a lot of injuries, and she still manages to find him in the dark and stab him very effectively. He dies. She saves Maxim in the process. I don't know. I like this. I want to throw an 8 at this. I think I like it. So.
Gonna follow that up with the score?
I can, yeah. So while the pulling out of her skin and shoving it with the power over to the White Cloak and killing him, White Cloak's that was impressive. But the fact that she got stabbed in the first place makes the points go down a bit. Yes, impressive. She pulled it out and tossed it with the power, but even Fail, who's not even an Aiel, could get more stabs without using any power. So I'm going to have to give her a 6 because she allowed herself to be in a position where she would get stabbed and then have to reuse that.
6. That's rough.
6.
So my position is this is a 1 because if you get hit by an arrow, it's not a stabbing. You just got shot. It's not a stabbing. It's just a shot. So this isn't even a stabbing. It's disqualified.
Are miniature
disqualified for not even being a stabbing.
They are miniature spears.
It's disqualified for not even being a stabbing.
Wow.
All the other awesomeness of the scene aside, I don't consider it a stabbing. It's a 1.
I want to remake this now. When Brian says when Brian scores me a 1.
This is it's you get shot by a crossbow. You don't go, oh, I was stabbed. You go, oh, I was shot. Words have meaning. Words have meaning, you guys.
I don't know. I mean, when I have to go and get when I go and give blood, I'd be like, oh, I'm off to get stabbed. So. If I get an injection for something, I'm like, yeah.
Get jabbed, not stabbed.
No, I say I get stabbed. When I get a cortisone injection, I get stabbed. So yeah.
That's a needle. That's a needle. That's not an arrow. They're not shooting an arrow into your arm to take your blood. That's not what's happening. You got this White Cloak. White Cloaks are also like the stormtroopers of the show. Like they just die you can breathe on them wrong and they die. So this is not even an impressive kill. It's just she shot them. She shot him. He's dead. Not a stabbing. End of rating.
Far be it from me to disagree with our esteemed colleague, but
I'm just gonna hide Brian behind this 10 for a while. Sorry, folks.
As Amise mentioned, there was a lot of pulling out that happened prior to this. Very clear.
Is pulling out bad?
Stabbing. Yes, for this particular reason. Because there is a lot of risk associated with blood transfusions. And you have a blood-covered arrow, right? And you put that blood-covered arrow into the body of another person. You not only probably kill them, but maybe even you give them some sort of blood disorder where their body decides to reject the foreign blood that is penetrated into their bloodstream, and then therefore they die like an even more painful death because their body literally starts attacking their blood from the inside out because they think that their blood is alien blood.
I mean, I think he was
What are you
dead before
talking
the
about?
blood interact with each other. Don't you think? We don't
It
know.
is unclear. We do
It is
not know
unclear.
if he crawls away from this fight. There are a lot of people in the show who crawl away from multiple arrow wounds.
But
And
can you
this
play
guy
the
only had the
stabby-stab
one.
thing with Mel
So
doing
there
this?
was
There's a
there
little
was
stabby-stab thing
potential
in Mel
blood
doing.
disorders.
Okay, now
and
is Mel doing? Mel is holding the spear and this thingy in one hand. What she is not doing, if you take her off, what she's not doing is boing, shooting an arrow. She's not going
Neither is
stab.
Alana.
She's not like throwing things, going stabby stab.
Alana
That's not
is,
what's
like,
happening here. She's going
magically
stabby stab
tossing it.
stab.
If we are
The
counting
method of delivery
verbal
of
and
the metal
emotional
into the
stabs
body
as
is important.
stabs,
It is an
then
important
the
distinction in
points
the
of
terms of
penetration
stabbing.
we're just both dying at the same time. We have defined stabs very clearly, and with a weapon, it has to be a pointy object that pushes into someone person, and that pointy object could be a voice, right? It could be your words. So if we have accepted and to be clear, let me read back the prior ratings that Brian gave to word-based stabs. Wait, what just happened? Did I do that? Did you do that?
What?
What did you do?
What happened?
It just something strange happened. Anyway, Brian previously gave the Matt Coffin a 7. That was a verbal stab, not with an actual physical weapon. He also previously gave Keep It Elida, It's Too Gaudy for Me, a 2. So even a verbal stab, he ranked higher than this particular stab. So, yeah.
Because those were stabs. This is not a stab.
I think this man is being a hypocrite. Anyway, but the point is...
I don't think we ranked the Elida stab yet. Have we?
Yes, we have.
We did?
Oh, sorry. No, I was reading the wrong line. Elaine.
Okay, I was like, man.
Wait, did you put a score in for my thing?
I didn't touch anything. I'm just in the sheet.
I'm so confused. Where is this stab? I did not put a 1 there. Oh, that's so weird. Anyway, I'm gonna give this blood transfusion stabbing and bonus points for recycling a 7.
There's no accounting for tastes, so.
It gives a 5.5 on the step-ometer.
5.5.
It gets a 5.5? Okay.
Yeah.
As I rated it an 8, that means it gets a 6. Because, I have the power. So, yeah.
Yep. Also, rounding is a thing. Cool.
Yeah, but if I'd given it a 4, it would have got a 5. So
we have 3 more finalists to rank.
All right,
Okay.
let's do it.
We have the last of the 3 Thael entries, where she throws a dagger at Dane and stabs him in the shoulder.
Yeah, this is in the White Cloak camp in episode 5.
I'm going to give this a 9.
What?
A 9?
Yeah.
A 9?
Explain.
You can't see anything. How is
Explain?
there a 9?
It's
How
explain
can that be a 9?
how, because I said it is. That's how.
Oh,
That's how it works. I pick
He's
a
got the
score.
power and he makes the
Yeah.
rules.
That's by. I've decided on this stab that it's a range stab. So I'm doing it slightly to annoy Brian now. She just didn't use a bow, but according to him, like that, that means it doesn't count, so it counts extra for me. It's a cool dagger. He didn't die, but he was severely impacted from fighting onwards, which is why it's not a 10. And it's fucking dark, and she's managed to get him with that range stab. So, I like it. 9.
Okay. I'm giving this a 2 because I didn't even remember it happened. Like, it made 0 impact on me as a person watching the show.
I'm going to have to agree with Mel. I thought just stabbing him in the shoulder nonchalantly was not very great. And I also barely remembered it from the show either. That could be just because they didn't shoot it very well, but this is what we have. So I'm going to give it a 2 as well.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna go with so fire is awesome. You just get points for that. It is a stabby weapon. It is not an arrow shot weapon. So you get some points. You get some points for this.
I'm gonna come to your house and stab you with an arrow, and then you can argue about a stabby weapon.
It was. I'm gonna give it a 3.
A 3.
Yeah.
He's still living.
Purely on the strength of Fire doing it. That's 3 points.
Wow.
So how many of those points? Like what is the exact number of those points that were Fail? Like 2.8?
2.9.
Love it.
0.1 for it being a stabby weapon. And
0.1.
that is a 4. That is a 4 on the stabometer.
That's a 4 on the stabometer. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Nice.
In the chat, we've got 5, we've got 3, we've got it was too dark, nobody knows what happened.
Yeah.
Stupid. Yeah.
Apparently there's some wishy-washy logic going on around these parts. No idea what you're talking about.
No idea.
Mel agrees with Ryan this time.
Yeah.
Fio did not go back to finish him off. 3 out of 10.
Right, Dana.
It's an unfinished job for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's why it's a 9, not a 10. So, all right. You're a monster Lamelle.
It gets a 10 from me.
I agree. I agree with Mel. This is a 10 for me as well. In all seriousness,
perfectly
I was
executed.
Dying for this. He lulled her in. She thought he was still in love and that sort of stuff, and it's just like, oh, come here, and then just whispers in her ear, really destroys her, and sends her psycho crazy ex-girlfriend vibes, just telling her she's a monster. And I was just like, stabbed, just yes, perfect.
It's so good. It's so good. It was so effective. Like 1,000 years of thinking about this moment level effective.
Yeah, she entirely changed her character.
Mm-hmm.
She totally ditched the nice Celine line. She went full on psycho Lamelle.
Mm-hmm. Goth, Pope, and all.
Yeah. Infinity out of 10.
So Mel and Robbie both ranked
both
it a 10?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake. No. Okay.
Don't give this. Alpha Mel gives it a 0 out of 10.
I'm not saying it's a 0. It's
Mel
a very effective line for sure. But you have to think that Lamelle really actually gives a fuck. I don't really think, she's got this psychopathic dream about Lutheran, who he's not. Like, she's not in the right mental space. I don't think that she honestly really, like, everything to me is her making, like, it's for a purpose, and I don't think it's I'm in love with Rand. So I don't think the stab is as effective because, 1, I don't think she's like a Celine. 2, this was all fabricated by the IO Wise Ones, Moraine, Egwene. This is not Rand being like super smart and like doing this. This is a collective group of people being like, let's try to trap Lanfear, which does not work,
100%.
by the way. Does not work, by the way. And they do this big ruse, and then they're like, I guess we'll find her later. So I would say that yes, him being rude to her stabs her slightly.
You can't judge his stab because of someone else's choice to not follow through.
Does that change? Sure, I can. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So, does that change Lamplier and her outcome? No. She's going to do what she wants regardless of brand. So I don't think it's as effective as a 10. I give it a 6.
Okay.
If he
Brian.
conjured it up himself, maybe, but I don't think so.
I feel like Brian's going to come in with like a 2 or something right now.
Come on, Brian.
All right. 10.
Yes! Sold. Done. What does that do to our point?
You don't even need to explain. We understand completely.
Yes, we understand, yes. What does that do to our scoring?
That gives it a 7.75. Wait. Sorry, I can't read.
It's a
my
10.
thing. It's a 9.
The taint was fully engaged. This is a moment where she's oozing taint
True
all
power.
over the place.
She's not oozing taint.
Yes. Whatever.
Well.
She's black goo. She's oozing goo all over herself. This is the full penetration, full stabbing. It's just, really chef's kiss stuff here.
It's
so
like
10 out of 10.
Mel needs some chocolate to watch that. Soundscape of time, Jordan said, not a single arrow. Brian, 10.
That's right.
I feel like this is like if Brian had a thing against Three-Fold Talk, if we had a feud of some kind, it would be arrows or stabs. Yes or
no, it's the fact that he likes ranch dressing.
Well, that's the real one, but we would say it's the arrows. All right, so that got a 9, which I think I haven't played a 9 yet. This must be our highest.
It is
our highest one yet. So
yes, we all agreed.
Yeah, love it. All right,
I mean,
our last one. It's too gaudy for me.
Sutama. You smooth
She's so pretty.
Two.
Just saying.
2.
2.
2?
2?
2. Elida was playing her.
Yeah.
I don't think she was trying to win.
Elida's trying to play them for sure.
I think she came in like pretending, being like, oh, I'm going to pretend that I'm going to try and win you over. So you think that's what I'm doing. And it was misdirection. So.
I disagree slightly. I think Elida is so vain that she really thought bringing in a gaudy necklace for her would win her over. I really thought that she would. I think that she thinks her way is the right way no matter what. So I don't think she was trying to do anything sneaky by giving her the gaudy necklace. I think Sutama is saying exactly what she should say. Like, bitch, you don't know me. Look at my necklace. Does this look gaudy to you? No, it looks sweet. Why would I wear that? And just because it's Elida, I'm going to give this one a 5. I would hope that Aes Sedai would be kind of bitchy sometimes, so this is not over the top bitchy to me, but I appreciate it.
What do you think, Brian?
I'm gonna go with I think this is very much like the Elaine thing to me, which is it didn't really derail anything. There's not really the victim of this. It's not really wounded. Not a lot of long-lasting impact here. And it's like, oh no, you gave me a necklace. Woohoo! I don't want it. Like that's not a stab. That's not that's not anything. So I'm gonna go with the 2.
So I feel like you guys aren't giving Sutama enough credit.
I think 5 is enough credit.
I think she sees through what Elida is doing, even though she's interested in the necklace. Like, she actually likes it. But she sees through Elida's efforts. And she explicitly says it like that to take her down a notch in the company of a bunch of other people. So they hear her take Elida down a notch. Like, she executes a stab to reassert her, like, authority over it. And if Elida hadn't played her game about Mazrim Taim and going and hunting, like, I don't think that Sutama would have. I don't think she would have let Elida win the Emerald seat the way that she did. So I think Sutama was a lot smarter than you guys are giving her credit for. But I don't think it's as well executed as the smoothness of Elaine's comment. And I gave that one like a 7 or so. So I'm giving this one a 6.
All right.
Okay.
Where does that situate us?
At 3.75.
All right. Another 4 in the books on the stabometer.
Oh man.
What do we got in chat? Any votes in chat for that one?
We got a little mix of things. 3 because I barely recognize this character.
It's not nice.
Zul says 3. Lottie gives it a 4. Glenn says this gets a 1. It was too much of a low hanging fruit to go after, and she didn't deliver it well, in his opinion. Yeah. And Zul adds on to hers. I think there's a small amount of effectiveness in making this small takedown of trying to at least a dozen reds. So lightly agree. Yeah, it's a mid stab. So cool.
Mid stab.
Right.
Yeah.
Mid stab.
Mid stab.
I wouldn't say it penetrated 3 feet, but maybe it penetrated like 1.
So deep.
Aes Sedai in the Wild says 10 for me.
Established that deep is 1 foot.
No.
Aes Sedai in the Wild says it was a 10 for them because it cuts. I mean, Elida growled in response.
She growled. She literally growled. It was great.
Right.
But maybe she growls when like she has to pee or something. Like maybe it's
maybe
just
she
like
just is a constant growler.
Yeah, she's just like a growler. You know?
Maybe.
Like you just want to like drink.
It's that Fox and Snake's like
her.
bracelet makes her growl.
Maybe. It's very, very possible.
Oh, so she's turning into a fox.
Okay, so.
All right, that is all the stabs, you guys.
What are our winners?
We have evaluated them all. So I am going to share them back from you from the least number of points to most number of points. How about that? So in 12th place, with 15.8 total points, that's our points plus the votes. It is a Spanish Chiad playing Maiden Kiss with Loyal. That's
12th place, everybody.
12th place. 11 with 21.2 points is Fail throws a dagger into Dane's shoulder that nobody remembers. And by nobody, I mean me. In 10th place, with 23.9 points, Alana channels an arrow that stabs into a white cloak. Nope.
Sorry, I just heard like a buzzing noise right there. Did you say something, or was there?
She said stab.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely didn't say it like that. Okay, in 9th place with 24.75 points, Sutama rejects Elida with keep it. It's too gaudy for me.
Too fast.
Too fast. All right, 8th place, 25.95 points. Matt's Bad Kisser. Man, Maiden's Kiss did not rank high today.
Nope.
With 26.15 points, pretty close to the previous one. We have Lewin and Elijah and getting dismissed by Mommy Dearest. Wow. So with 28.1 points in 6th place, Elaine calling out Nynaeve for banging Lan. All right, we're down to the top 5.
Top 5, everybody.
Anybody have a guess on which one's the winner besides Amis, who's in the document?
I'm not saying a word.
And Rob, who's in the document?
Oh, you're in it too?
Yeah.
The party.
I know I kept asking you for the scores, even though I could see them. It was entertaining.
Okay. 5th place is Fael stabs a dark friend with his sword, dodges a sword thrust, steals a spear, and kills a dark friend.
No, it's not.
Or Leandra
Next
double
one
stab.
down.
Sorry.
Leandra,
Leandra double stab.
Leander and double stab doesn't kill. Boo. Swords.
And then Fael stabs a dark friend, dodges a sword thrust, steals a spear, kills a dark friend, should have a ring tire. Not gonna lie.
There it is.
That's 4th place.
The bronze position goes to
3rd place is You're a Monster. There we are. That
All
one
right.
had 33.2 points.
Whoa.
And so our last 2 are going to be
They're so close.
the multi-stabs and the Matron Coffin.
Mm-hmm.
We should put up a poll on what people think which one's first.
We should do a poll. Yes, that's a good point. I like that. So
Out of the 2.
out of these 2, yes. So hold fire, folks, while I actually go open up YouTube.
For context, just the votes, these were also the 2 highest vote getters, and they were only separated by 1 point with
Whoa.
voting.
Which stab is number 1? Fael or Matt? Oh no, Swan. Sorry. If I could type, that would help. All right, poll is going in chat, folks. So,
I actually think that scene with Swan is the best scene of hers.
Live Blind Fool
her-
reckons multi-stabs. Murder
Murder
Pixie. Multi-stab. Multi-stab.
Multi-stab.
Early voting looks like it's going slightly in Fael's favor.
Okay.
Patrick says stabbing a Trolloc over stabbing Matt.
Yeah. Same, Patrick.
Disagree.
I mean, yeah.
Depends on what kind of stab we're talking about.
Disagree regardless.
I'm probably gonna, from the time you hear this, you'll probably have less than 30 seconds to vote if you haven't already voted, folks. Reasonable chunk of you already have. The joy when there's not 1,000 people watching, you will get in there quick. Brian,
Oh, man.
do you have a guess?
I mean, I vote Fael all day long.
You're right. Fael all day long.
Yeah, I really love that whole sequence with her following Perrin around and stabbing everything inside. I just think it's
Yeah,
one of my favorite parts of the whole
So
season.
good.
It was pretty great.
it is very, very good. I love Patrick Lightbody. Oh no, here comes Truth. I'll talk math.
The stab sheet does good math.
It does good math first. All right, ending the poll is 67% in favor of Fael being number 1. Mel? Who came second in the stab sheet this year?
Swan Sanche with the Matt Coffin with 36.6 points.
36.6! Meaning in
Which
first
means-
place.
Fael doing bad things to my buddy takes first place with
Yeah.
38.5 points. She's the winner. If we total up all of Fael's points,
She got more than the other 9 together, you know.
Fael has 90.65 points in
Yeah.
total
Wow.
Well deserved.
for being the super stabbiest of the
You know, if we never get any more shows, I will be very satisfied with the Fael that we got this season.
pretty great.
Sure. Yeah.
Agreed.
Pretty great. I have to say, I think the fact that they didn't let us see very many of Bane and Chiad's actual stabs.
Agreed.
Like we saw the beginnings of their attacks, but not the ends. I think they would have ranked a lot higher. Like the three of them together, if they let them come up with a cool fighting style that takes advantage of all of their skills, it'll be really awesome.
So basically, all of Bane and Chiad's stabs this season were Gray Man stabs.
Yeah.
They happened
pretty
off screen,
bad.
and we didn't see them. And
I dare you
Most
to
of them
go.
happen off screen, but
So
Yeah.
I wonder if our Bane and Chiad is it's gonna watch this episode and then be like at the beginning the Grey Man thing, and then come in and be like, "Did Brian just call me a Grey Man?"
I loved their
I'm gonna
exceedingly
poison his
blood
rat.
factors. All of
Yeah.
them. That
Yeah.
was so great. I agree. I think one of the show's challenges is that they only pay enough certain amount of people to do the stunt training, to do the fight training, and ridiculously enough, the best fighters of the story are not getting that attention, which kind of pisses me off, and it doesn't make any sense. Like Ruark did absolutely nothing all season. Not that he does a lot in these books,
He stabbed
in this
me
book,
with his
but I don't know. We never saw Mel fight. We never saw all this other stuff, and I think it was kind of a sad choice by the crew.
but I think
on that.
the Bane and Chiad, every time we saw them, they have more blood on them. That's
it's
a
implied.
interesting. That's a good use of the viewer's imagination about what happened when they were off screen. Robert Jordan actually does this very well in the books. But first of all, all of the sword forms are, cat crosses the courtyard. You fill in the blanks of what you think that means, right?
Exactly.
But then there's also I don't know what the spoiler level is, but
Full
the,
spoilers.
all the
full
time.
spoilers. In when Matt fights Couladin in the books, he's just running around. He's running for his life.
Yeah.
He's just I have no idea what's happening. There's somebody. And there's somebody. And then he passes out or something and wakes up the next day, and they're like, "You killed Couladin," or that
Right.
whole fight sequence is off screen, and you fill in the blanks with your head.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so Jordan did that quite frequently. So I know it's certainly a budgetary concern to have a lot of these fight sequences
absolutely.
off screen, but it also kind of works canonically the way that Jordan wrote the books, and so I it doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I didn't see all the fight scenes everywhere else from everybody else, it wouldn't bother me. But we have 15 minutes of extra scenes that weren't in the books already in the first episode that we could add those extra scenes in other places too. That's all.
Yeah.
Be nice to see some IO fighting.
I think they were saving them up for next season. Attack on the Stone and Tea or something crazy is gonna happen.
I hope
You know?
so. I really hope so.
That
I
would be
think-
very awesome.
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
They had two big fight scenes this season, I think. Two big fight scenes next season. Could be very ideal heavy, both of them. Right?
And I do want the Matt Couladin scene. Please give it to us.
Yeah.
That's one of
That
my
would be
favorite.
really
That's one of my
that'd be really
favorite
nice.
parts. Yeah.
yeah.
But I actually want what Jordan did, where we don't actually see. I want him running for his life, and then he accidentally stabs him or something. And
I want to
everybody
see
sees
the
hero.
stab happen. I'm fine with him not realizing he stabbed that person.
Yeah, he just
I
turns a
just wanna
corner
see
and
him.
just
Like,
accidentally stabs somebody, and it turns out to be Couladin, and then everybody's like, "You're a hero, Matt," and he's like, "I'm no bloody hero." That would be great.
yeah. He's like, all those veiled people look the same.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it would be quite entertaining.
Yeah.
So, cool. So we have our best stabs of season 3.
We
Are we
do.
doing?
Yeah.
Are we doing worst stabs next week or something else?
I say we do something else.
Yeah.
All right. We'll let you know what that is.
At some
Yeah.
point, we will do the worst stabs of season 3. That's mostly us just throwing toe and stone dog humor around. It's good fun. So, Brian, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. You're welcome.
and sticking by us with our totally legit and completely sane ranking, criteria. Appreciate that.
It was really fun to
Yeah,
have
this
you.
was as great as Ebola Ranch. So, we're good.
Aw,
That's such a sweet compliment.
Bell's face. I might have to go get some ranch and watch A Knight's Tale now. So
There you
just
go.
give myself a refresh.
Excellent.
I can't wait to have this
Excellent show.
conversation about Knight's Tale sometime.
Oh, love that.
No.
All right, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let us know your favorite stab in the chat afterwards. Please stab the like button as well. And if you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We're here every week, 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. There's obviously lots of other stuff happening on the channel as well. But yeah, we're here live every week having a lot of fun. And apparently we need to go get ready for What Idol. So, but yeah, join us next week. It's a big week. Thursday night we're here. Friday you've got the wheelies, and then Saturday you're back with me again doing the rewatch with special guests. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm very excited. So I'm just gonna put this back up because I really love it. Look at that, it's so pretty.
It looks great.
Yeah,
It looks great.
but yeah, that's it. Goodbye, everybody. Love
Miss
you.
you.
Or as we like to say around here, may you always find love, water, and shade. So, bye.
May you always find love, water, and shade.